And so, with only one review to review for this podcast, it is a doozy. So, we have Judas and the Black Messiah, which is revolving around the real life events surrounding Fred Hampton and his death and everything else. And it's just about an informant who is put into the Black Panthers to inform on Fred Hampton and kind of like situation to bring him down from just the level that he's at, being a major influence in the black community, in which at the time, the government and everybody else was not having it. And it is, like I said, is based off of true events. And this being one of my most anticipated films of 2021, which I still gonna put out that video, I was expecting great performances, especially with talents like, Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya. I was hoping that I wasn't gonna get let down, and truly to even say I wasn't let down. Like, Kaluuya gives an awesome performance as Fred Hampton. He really just embodies him, and he nails his accent. Like, if you put his acting and how he says stuff against the real Fred Hampton, he literally nails it. And all of his likeliness, and he literally transforms into Hampton in this movie, and I really did appreciate that, especially when you have an actor that can just disappear into the role. And Stanfield delivers a great performance as well. And it makes him and Kaluuya one of the best reasons to even just why this film works so great. And the great acting, you know that it's great acting in a movie when you want to see the actors act out these characters all day, and I can literally see them act out these characters all day, especially Daniel Kaluuya, who did, like I said, an awesome job in his performance. This movie has an awesome title. It has one of those titles that just literally fits the narrative of what the movie is all about. And there is great performances all around. Don't get it twisted. I'm not just giving them praise and just them alone. Everybody that's surrounding, all the supporting characters, did a great job as well. But regarding back to the title, it literally, just before going into it, I already knew that it would more than likely focus on the Judas part than the Black Messiah part. And I wasn't wrong about it. So I really wasn't disappointed about the whole thing or whatnot. The amount of screen time that, each character had and anything else. I wasn't really, let down by it, just by how it differed. And even though it wasn't the same amount of screen time for both characters, it's still, I had a great sense of how important Hampton was to the black community during his time that he was alive, and how he did a lot for the black community, not only just for the blacks and trying to unite all the black people, but just trying to unite other ethnic groups as well. And it just shows what type of person he was, just to not even look out for his people, but other people that may be feeling like they're oppressed or whatever, or just feeling as low as black people were around that time and even now. And it's just crazy when you look at how the FBI viewed Hampton and wanted to just get rid of him, and their plan to just go at him to the point where they would put they basically put one person, maybe several people up in there to try to take down Fred Hampton and just make it look like it's not the police going after him, even though clearly you already knew that the government, the police force, and all that stuff wanted to take him down. It's honestly just real crazy, especially when they lay out their plan. It's just like it's sad to see something like that somebody will, a group of people will want somebody like that taken down, and just how they viewed him. It's crazy. But speaking of the FBI, there's an FBI agent in this movie who just has such a punchable face. Like, it's no offense to the actor, but I definitely just wanted to punch him in the face. And it's mainly kind of due to like just the character that he played. He wasn't the worst of the worst, but he didn't have great intentions in what he was doing at that. But one of the things that stood out to me in the beginning scene was Lakeith's character William face was covered during the scene until it wasn't. And I was like, why would they hide it when you can clearly tell that it is him? Which it just kind of like stood out to me and just kind of like seemed kind of off, but that was just like a little nitpick, anything. But the last sequence and how it all went down was just crazy as hell. And how they all just set it up just to trying to get rid of Hampton. And but at the same time, it does keep your attention. It does spark up a lot of emotions as far as that moment, even just throughout the rest of the film. But I mean, it's crazy. Like I don't know, like you may feel a certain type of way during the last like 15 minutes of the film or whatnot. So at the end of the day, this is an incredible film, and it is a must-see film at that. It's very powerful in its message and with the subject matter that it has. And even though a lot of seriousness is done within this movie, it does have a lot of lighthearted moments, as well as good humor in the midst of just everything that's going on. And even if you don't see this movie for the historical, relevance or whatever, or just the historical aspect of it, you can definitely enjoy the performances of the main leads, Kaluuya and Stanfield, and just everything that they bring to the table, because they do, like I said, an awesome job in their performances. And I feel like it's worth your time. It's worth your time and or money if you haven't got HBO Max and you're just doing it just to check out this, or you just go see it in theaters because it's one of those hybrid movies, just like Tom and Jerry. But it's one of those hybrid movies where you can see it on HBO Max at least for a little bit of time or whatever, or you can just see it in theaters. So if you're asking me, I'll say if you're not too skittish about going to the movie theaters, check it out in theaters. You won't be disappointed. You definitely will not be disappointed.